A Stoic's Guide to Mastering Your Mind. What's the one thing holding you back? Hey there, friend. Before we dive into this journey together, let me ask you something. What was the last thought that flickered through your mind before you clicked on this video? Maybe it was a spark of curiosity, a quiet hope for something new, or just a nudge that you're ready for a change in perspective. Whatever it was, hold on to it for a moment, because today we're embarking on an adventure, an exploration to unlock the incredible, untapped power of your mind. This isn't about chasing some fleeting, trendy self-help trick or a quick fix hack that fades by next week. No, we're diving into something deeper, something timeless. The wisdom of Stoicism, a philosophy that's been guiding people toward clarity, strength, and inner peace for centuries. It's like finding a compass in a world that often feels like a maze, and I'm excited to walk this path with you. This journey isn't about judging where you are right now or pointing fingers at what's holding you back. It is an open invitation to awaken a part of you that's been quietly waiting to take charge, the part that can steer your thoughts, shape your reactions, and transform the way you move through life's ups and downs. We all have moments when the world feels overwhelming, when our minds get tangled in worry, doubt, or the noise of other people's expectations. But what if you could take back control? What if you could train your mind to be a source of strength, no matter what life throws your way? That's what Stoicism offers, a way to master your thoughts and find calm in the chaos. And trust me, it's not just ancient wisdom. It's practical, actionable, and ready to change how you see yourself and the world. Here's the exciting part. We're not just going to talk about ideas today. I'm throwing down a challenge, a little experiment to make this real for you. We're going to explore 7 powerful Stoic principles that can reshape your mindset, each one like a tool in your mental toolbox. These aren't vague theories. They're concrete practices you can apply to your life right now. At the end of this, I'm going to ask you to pick one of these principles, the one that resonates most with you, and commit to living it for 2 weeks, just 14 days. Try it with intention, see what shifts, and then come back and share what you discover. I'm betting you'll be surprised by the transformation, maybe even amazed at how much power you've had all along. As the Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Those words aren't just a quote. They're a call to action, a reminder that you hold the reins to your inner world. Let's pause for a second and think about what that means. Power over your mind, not the weather, not your boss's mood, not the traffic jam or the unexpected bill that shows up in your inbox. Those are outside events, and as much as we'd love to control them, we can't. But your mind? That's your domain. It's where you decide what matters, how you respond, and who you want to be. Stoicism teaches us to focus on that inner territory, to build a mental fortress that stays steady no matter what's happening outside. And the best part? You don't need to be a philosopher or a scholar to do this. You don't need a fancy degree or a perfect life. You just need a willingness to try, to lean into these ideas, and to see where they take you. So, what's this journey going to look like? We're going to dive into 7 Stoic principles, each one a stepping stone toward mastering your mind. We'll talk about letting go of the weight of other people's opinions, finding strength in life's challenges, and shifting the way you see the world. We'll explore how to flow with life's inevitable changes, build discipline to stay true to your goals, and savor the beauty of the present moment. And we'll wrap it up with the power of community, finding people who lift you up and push you to grow. Each principle is a piece of the puzzle, and together they form a roadmap to a stronger, clearer, more resilient mind. I know what you might be thinking. This sounds great, but can it really work for me? The answer is yes, because Stoicism isn't about being perfect or having it all figured out. It's about progress, about taking small, intentional steps toward a life that feels more grounded and purposeful. That 2-week challenge I mentioned, it's your chance to test it out, to see what happens when you put one of these ideas into action. Maybe you'll feel a little lighter, a little more in control. Maybe you'll notice you're not sweating the small stuff as much, or maybe you'll discover a strength you didn't know you had. Whatever happens, it's yours to explore, and I'm here cheering you on. So, are you ready to harness that power Marcus Aurelius was talking about? Are you ready to take the wheel of your mind and see where this Stoic path leads? I hope you're nodding yes, because this adventure is about to get good. Grab a notebook if you want, or just keep an open mind. We're diving into the first principle next, and I can't wait to see what you take away from it. Let's do this. Together. Stop chasing approval. Picture this. You're walking through a crowded room and every pair of eyes feels like they're sizing you up. The whispers, the glances, the unspoken judgments, they start to weigh heavier than your own thoughts. Maybe you're at a party, feeling like every word you say is being dissected, or maybe you're scrolling online, bracing for that one critical comment that stings. Sound familiar? Most of us have been there, caught in the trap of caring too much about what other people think, letting their opinions steer our choices, our confidence, even our sense of self. But here's the first Stoic secret to mastering your mind. Let go of what others think and focus on the one thing you can truly control: your own thoughts. It's like finding solid ground in a storm, and it's where your real power lies. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who wrestled with his own mind as much as any of us, put it perfectly. It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Pause and let that sink in. We value ourselves, our dreams, our quirks, our inner world. But then we hand over our peace of mind to strangers, coworkers, or even that random commenter online who doesn't know us at all. Why do we do that? It's like building a house but letting someone else pick the blueprint, or painting a canvas but constantly checking over your shoulder to see if the crowd approves. We're giving away our power, letting external voices drown out the one that matters most, our own. Stoicism flips that script, reminding us that the only opinion that truly shapes our life is the one we hold about ourselves. Let me tell you about a young artist I heard about, someone who lived this lesson in a way that stuck with me. This guy was bursting with talent. His paintings were bold, vibrant, practically pulsing with life. Every stroke was a piece of his soul, but every time he picked up a brush, he froze. The fear of criticism was like a shadow creeping over his canvas. What if his work wasn't good enough? What if people laughed or called it amateur? That fear wasn't just a thought, it was a weight, dimming every color he tried to create. He'd spend hours second-guessing his choices, tweaking his work to please an imaginary audience. Then he stumbled across Stoicism, and something clicked. He read about focusing on what's in your control, about anchoring your worth in your own judgment, so he tried it. Instead of worrying about what critics might say, he poured his energy into creating art that felt true to him. He asked himself, does this reflect my vision? Does it say what I want to say? And you know what happened? His work didn't just improve, it came alive. The colors were bolder, the lines more confident. It wasn't about ignoring feedback entirely. It was about not letting it define him. His art became a mirror of his inner world, not a reflection of others' expectations. This isn't about shutting out the world or building a fortress around your ego. It's not about arrogance or pretending you're above criticism. It's about tending to the garden of your mind, carefully choosing which seeds to plant. Seeds that reflect your values, your truth, not someone else's passing judgment. Imagine a life where every harsh comment, every side-eye, every unsolicited opinion feels like a faint breeze instead of a storm that knocks you off course. That's the freedom Stoicism offers. It's about tuning out the noise so you can hear your own voice clear and strong. I remember hearing about someone who struggled with this in their relationships. They'd bend over backward to please others, always worrying about being liked. But when they started practicing the Stoic principle, they set boundaries, choosing connections that respected their worth. It wasn't easy. It meant saying no sometimes. But it brought a calm they hadn't felt before. They weren't living for applause anymore. They were living for themselves. Letting go of others' opinions doesn't happen overnight. It's a practice, like building a muscle. You start small, maybe noticing when you're spiraling over a critical remark and reminding yourself, this isn't about me, it's about them. Or maybe you take a moment before posting online to ask, am I sharing this for me? or for their approval. It takes effort to tune out the chatter, to stop letting the crowd steer your ship. But when you do, you start to hear your own voice, and that voice is powerful. It's the voice that knows your worth, your goals, your truth. So ask yourself, whose opinion is steering your ship right now? What would happen if you took the wheel? What could you create? Who could you become if you let your own judgment lead the way? That's the Stoic path to mastering your mind, and it starts with this one: liberating choice.
Turn hardships into strength. Life's not always a smooth ride, is it? Sometimes it feels like you're hiking through a dense forest, the path ahead looking clear and promising, when suddenly you trip over a gnarled root or get snagged in a patch of thorns. Those moments, heartbreak, failure, anxiety, can feel like dead ends, like the trail's turned against you. It's easy to think you're stuck, that these setbacks reveal some flaw or weakness. But here's the second Stoic lesson, and it's a game changer. Those hardships aren't signs of weakness. They're opportunities to build emotional resilience. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca so wisely said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Those words carry weight. They a reminder that the rough patches aren't here to break you. They're here to shape you into something stronger, more brilliant. Think of life as a winding trail through that forest. Every stumble, every thorn, every unexpected twist is part of the journey. Those moments don't define you as weak. They're invitations to grow, to forge resilience in the face of adversity. I heard about a young entrepreneur who learned this lesson the hard way, and his story stuck with me. His startup was his dream, a vision he'd poured his heart into. But then an economic slump hit, and it was like the ground gave way beneath him. Every rejection from investors felt like a punch to the gut. Every failed pitch stung, whispering that maybe he wasn't cut out for this. It would have been so easy to give up, to let those setbacks crush his spirit and send him packing. But instead, he turned to Stoicism. He started seeing each obstacle not as a defeat, but as a lesson in disguise. A missed deal taught him how to sharpen his pitch, how to read the room better. A financial loss forced him to rethink his strategy, to adapt in ways he hadn't considered before. Over time, those blows didn't break him. They molded him into someone tougher, more focused, with a clearer vision of his path. By the time he came out the other side, he wasn't just surviving, he was thriving, with a resilience he hadn't known he could build. Building emotional resilience isn't about pretending everything's fine or sweeping pain under the rug. It is not about putting on a brave face and ignoring the hurt. It is about facing adversity head-on and asking, what can I learn from this? When life throws you a curveball, a job loss, a breakup, a missed opportunity, it's tempting to let it bury you, to dwell on the unfairness or the sting. But Stoicism teaches us to shift our perspective. Those moments are like fire to steel. The heat doesn't destroy the metal. It strengthens it, shapes it into something enduring. Imagine you're facing a setback right now. Maybe a project at work tanked, or a relationship hit a rough patch. Instead of letting it define you, pause and ask, what's the lesson here? Maybe that failed project shows you a skill you need to hone. Maybe that argument reveals a boundary you need to set. Each challenge carries a seed of growth if you're willing to look for it. This mindset takes practice, no question. It's not about being unbreakable or never feeling the weight of hardship. It's about choosing to see those thorny moments as part of the journey, not the end of it. I heard about someone who went through a tough breakup and felt like their world was crumbling. At first, they let the pain consume them, replaying every what-if until it hurt to breathe. But then they started applying this Stoic idea. They began to see the heartbreak as a chance to rediscover themselves, to rebuild their confidence on their own terms. They journaled about what they learned, about their needs, their strengths, and slowly, the pain became a catalyst for growth. They didn't just move on, they grew into someone stronger, more self-assured. So next time you're caught in one of life's thorny patches, try this. Pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, how can this moment make me better? Maybe it's a chance to practice patience, to sharpen a skill, or to clarify what really matters to you. It is not about avoiding the pain or pretending it doesn't hurt. It is about using it as fuel to grow. That's the Stoic way to turn hardship into strength, to let the friction of life polish you into something radiant. Think about a challenge you're facing right now. Could it be the friction you need to shine? What's one lesson you could pull from it to carry you forward? That's where your resilience begins, and it's a power that grows with every step you take. Master the art of perception. Let's try something, friend. Imagine you're strolling down a street you know like the back of your hand, one you've walked 100 times. The sun's out, you're in your groove, and then, bam, you trip over a crack in the sidewalk. Your first thought might be, ugh, I'm such a klutz, or maybe, why does this always happen to me? That sting of embarrassment or frustration kicks in, and it's tempting to let it ruin your mood. But what if you could see that stumble differently? Not as a clumsy mistake, but as a chance to notice something new, like a flower pushing through that crack or a lesson in slowing down. That's the third Stoic principle, the power of perception. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus put it, men are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them. It is not the crack in the sidewalk that trips you up, it is how you choose to see it. Your perception is like a lens, coloring everything you experience. And here's the game changer. You get to choose that lens. Life's going to toss chaos your way, missed deadlines, heated arguments, plans that fall apart at the last second. Those moments can feel like punches, but they don't have the power to define you. What does? The way you see them. Take a work presentation that completely bombs. You step off the stage, your face burning, and your first instinct might be to label it a failure, to let it chip away at your confidence. But what if you flipped the lens? What if you saw it as a lesson, a chance to sharpen your delivery, to figure out what connects with an audience? It's the same event, but one perspective drags you down, while the other lifts you up, pointing you toward growth. That's the magic of perception. It's not about what happens, it's about what you make of it. This isn't a tea about slapping a fake smile on every problem or pretending setbacks don't sting. Stoicism doesn't ask you to ignore reality. It asks you to engage with it differently. It's like sailing through a storm. A good captain doesn't stand on the deck cursing the waves. They adjust the sails, steering through the chaos with focus and skill. I heard about someone who lived this principle after a rough day at work. Their big project got torn apart in a team meeting, every flaw picked apart, every idea questioned. At first, they felt crushed, like their work was worthless. But then they paused and asked themselves, what can I take from this? How can I improve? That shift didn't erase the sting, but it turned the criticism into fuel. They went back, reworked their approach, and by the next meeting, they were sharper, more prepared, and their confidence had grown. The setback hadn't changed, but their lens had, and that made all the difference. Perception is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. It starts with small, intentional moments. Next time something goes wrong, a delayed flight, a snarky comment, a plan that falls through, pause. Notice that knee-jerk negative thought, the one that says, this is awful, or I messed up. Then challenge it. Ask, what's another way to see this? Maybe that delayed flight gives you an hour to read something inspiring. Maybe that snarky comment reveals more about the other person's stress than your worth. Over time, this habit of reframing becomes second nature, and life's stumbles start to feel less like disasters and more like stepping stones. I heard about someone who applied this to a personal rejection. They'd been turned down for a job they really wanted, and at first it felt like a door slamming shut. But instead of dwelling on the no, they asked, what's the opportunity here? That question led them to take a course that sharpened their skills, which opened a door to an even better role down the line. The rejection didn't change, but their perspective did. This Stoic practice isn't TT about denying pain or glossing over challenges. It's about choosing a lens that empowers you. It's about recognizing that you're not a victim of life's chaos. You're a navigator, steering through it. Every stumble, every storm is a chance to practice this skill. Start small. Maybe today, when something frustrates you, take a breath and ask, how else can I see this? Maybe that argument with a friend is a chance to understand them better. Maybe that missed deadline is a reminder to prioritize differently. The more you flex this muscle, the more natural it feels, until one day you realize you're not just reacting to life, you're shaping it. So, what's one thing you could look at differently today? What's one moment where you could choose a new lens and see where it takes you? That's the Stoic path to mastering your mind, and it's a power you're already holding.
Flow with life's changes. Life's a bit like the weather, isn't it? One day you're basking in sunshine, everything falling into place, and the next, a storm rolls in, catching you off guard with pouring rain. You can't always predict the forecast no matter how much you plan. That's where the fourth Stoic lesson comes in, and it's a powerful one. Live according to nature. As Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher-emperor, put it, life is nothing but change, and change is nature's delight. Those unexpected twists, a job loss, a rejection, a sudden heartbreak, aren't your enemies trying to derail you. They're just part of the natural rhythm of life, like clouds shifting across the sky. Embracing this unpredictability isn't about giving up. It's about finding strength in flowing with the tides of change. Think about a thunderstorm crashing in on a perfectly calm day. Do you stand there, shaking your fist at the sky, demanding it stop? Of course not. You know it's just what nature does. Rain falls, winds blow, and the world keeps turning. Life's the same way. When things shift unexpectedly, a plan falls apart, a relationship ends, or an opportunity slips away, it's easy to freeze up, to let fear or frustration take over. But Stoicism teaches us a different approach. Adapt, like a river bending smoothly around a rock. The river doesn't fight the obstacle. It finds a new path, carving its way forward with grace. I heard about someone who lived this lesson after a brutal layoff. They'd been at their job for years, comfortable, secure, until one day it was gone. At first, they were paralyzed, their mind racing with worries about bills, their future, their worth. But then they stumbled across this Stoic idea that change is natural, not something to fight. Instead of resisting, they started seeing the layoff as a pivot point. They explored new career paths, took risks they'd never considered before, and ended up in a role that lit them up in ways their old job never could. The change wasn't easy, but flowing with it opened doors they hadn't even known were there. This doesn't mean you just shrug and accept everything passively like you're drifting aimlessly. Living according to nature is about staying grounded in what you can control, your mindset, your actions, your values, and letting go of what you can't. You can't stop the storm, but you can choose how you navigate it. Imagine you're facing a change right now, maybe a move to a new city, a shift in a friendship, or a project that didn't go as planned. Your first instinct might be to resist, to cling to how things were, to wish the change away. But what if you leaned into it instead? What if you took a deep breath and asked, how can I move with this? That's where the Stoic magic happens. It's about finding serenity in the flux, trusting that change is as natural as the seasons turning. I heard about a woman who faced a sudden health scare that forced her to rethink her entire routine. At first, she was angry, scared, stuck on how unfair it felt. But she started practicing this Stoic principle, accepting that life shifts like the weather. She adapted, changed her diet, found new ways to stay active, and discovered a resilience she didn't know she had. The change didn't define her. Her response to it did. This mindset takes practice, no doubt. It is not about pretending change is always fun or easy. It is about recognizing it as part of life's pulse. Think of nature itself. Trees shed their leaves, rivers carve new paths, and storms give way to clear skies. Fighting change is like trying to hold back the tide. It's exhausting and futile. Instead, Stoicism invites you to move with it, to stay true to who you are while adapting to what comes. Start small. Next time a change throws you off, a canceled plan, A tough conversation? Pause. Remind yourself this is natural. It's not about forcing the world to bend to your will, it's about moving through it with grace, like a dancer finding the rhythm in an unfamiliar song. I heard about a student who failed an important exam, one they'd poured months into preparing for. The disappointment was crushing, but instead of spiraling, they asked, "What's next?" That failure pushed them to study differently, to seek help, and ultimately to pass with flying colors later. The change wasn't the end, it was a detour to something better. So, what's a change you're resisting right now? Maybe it's a small shift, like a new routine or something bigger, like a career transition or a personal loss. Take a moment to breathe and remind yourself, change is nature's way. How could you flow with it instead of fighting it? What new path might open if you let go of the need to control the uncontrollable? That's the Stoic way to live according to nature, to embrace life's ebbs and flows with a steady heart, staying true to who you are. It's not just about surviving change, it's about thriving through it like a river finding its way. Build your inner discipline. We've all been there, haven't we? You've got a big goal in sight. Maybe it's acing a test, sticking to a healthier diet, or finishing a work project that's been looming over you. You're fired up, ready to make it happen, but then a shiny distraction sneaks in. Maybe it's a new show on your streaming app, begging for a binge, or that extra slice of cake sitting on the counter, practically calling your name. Suddenly, your focus wavers, and that goal feels a little further away. This is where the fifth Stoic principle comes in, and it's like a shield for your mind. Practice self-discipline. The Stoic philosopher Seneca put it powerfully when he said a person's worth is measured by the nobility of their ambitions and the strength of their discipline. That's the key to staying on your path, no matter how tempting the detours might be. Think of self-discipline like a gardener tending a diverse flower bed. They don't just pour all their energy into the roses because they are the prettiest. They give care to the tulips, the sunflowers, the daisies, every plant in the garden, with equal focus. Discipline works the same way. It's about sticking to your priorities, even when something else feels more exciting or easier in the moment. It's choosing the long-term over the fleeting, the meaningful over the comfortable. I heard about someone who was trying to stick to a fitness routine, and their story really hit home. Every evening, after a long day, the couch and a bag of chips looked way more appealing than hitting the gym. That pull to just veg out was strong, almost magnetic. But they started practicing this Stoic idea of discipline by noticing those moments of temptation without beating themselves up. They'd pause and say, "Okay, I'm craving this, but my goal matters more." Over time, they built small habits to dodge those distractions, like laying out their workout clothes the night before or scheduling gym time like an unmissable meeting. Those tiny choices added up, and before long, their fitness goal wasn't just a dream, it was reality. They weren't perfect, but they were consistent, and that made all the difference. This isn't about being a robot or punishing yourself for wanting to relax. Self-discipline doesn't mean you never enjoy that show or savor a treat. It is about understanding that distractions are part of life's rhythm and choosing when to say no. It's about recognizing that those shiny temptations are like weeds in your mental garden. If you let them grow unchecked, they'll choke out the flowers you're trying to cultivate. I heard about a student who struggled with this while preparing for a big exam. Social media was their kryptonite, endless scrolling that ate up hours meant for studying. At first, they'd get frustrated with themselves, feeling guilty for wasting time. But instead of staying stuck in that cycle, they took a Stoic approach. They started identifying the moments when the urge to scroll hit hardest, like right after dinner. Rather than judging themselves, they made a plan. They set a 15-minute timer for scrolling, then put their phone in another room while studying. That small act of discipline, choosing focus over distraction, helped them stay on track and pass their exam with confidence. Building self-discipline isn't flashy or glamorous. It's not about grand gestures or overnight transformations. It's a slow, steady build like laying bricks for a sturdy wall. As Epictetus, another Stoic thinker, said, "No great thing is created suddenly. Every time you choose your goal over a distraction, you're laying another brick, strengthening your mind's foundation." Start small. Pick one thing that pulls you off track. Maybe it's checking your phone too often, procrastinating on a task, or skipping a workout for just one more episode. Make a plan to counter it. Set a timer to limit distractions, keep a journal to track your progress, or even tell a friend about your goal for a little accountability. These small steps might feel insignificant at first, but they add up, creating a habit of focus that becomes second nature. The beauty of discipline is that it is not about being perfect. It is about showing up for yourself, again and again. It's about choosing your values over your impulses even when it's hard. I heard about someone who wanted to write a book but kept getting sidetracked by daily life, work, errands, social plans. They started practicing discipline by setting aside just 20 minutes a day to write no matter what. Some days it felt like a slog, but they stuck with it. Over months, those 20-minute sessions turned into pages, then chapters, and eventually a finished draft. Discipline wasn't about forcing inspiration. It was about creating space for it to grow. So, what's one distraction you could tackle with a bit more discipline today? What small choice could you make to stay true to your path? That's the Stoic way to build a stronger mind, one steady, deliberate step at a time. Live fully in the now. Have you ever been so caught up in your head that the world right in front of you just slips away? Maybe you're watching a sunset, the sky painted with fiery oranges and soft pinks, but instead of soaking in the beauty, your mind's stuck replaying an old argument or racing through tomorrow's to-do list. It's like you're there, but not really. That's where the sixth Stoic lesson comes in, and it's a powerful one. Embrace the present moment. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher emperor, said it beautifully. Do not let the panorama of your life oppress you. Just consider the present and what is able to rectify it. The now, right here, right this second, is where your power lives. It's the only place you can truly act, feel, and live. Picture this. You're sitting at your kitchen table sipping a cup of coffee. The mug is warm in your hands, the aroma rich and comforting, the quiet of the morning wrapping around you like a soft blanket. But your mind? It's a million miles away, tangled in stress about a work deadline or a mistake you made last week. That moment, the warmth, the scent, the stillness, slips by unnoticed, gone before you even realized it was there. We've all done it, letting the present fade while we're caught up in the past or future. Stoicism teaches us to anchor ourselves in the now, not by ignoring what's behind or ahead, but by recognizing that those things don't own us. The past is done, the future uncertain, but the present? It's yours to shape. I heard about someone who started practicing this in a simple way that changed everything for them. They decided to focus on one thing each day: a conversation with a friend, a meal, a walk in the park. They'd zero in on the details: the warmth in their friend's voice, the tang of a fresh bite, the crunch of leaves underfoot. Slowly, life started feeling richer, more vivid, like they'd turned up the volume on the world around them. Embracing the present isn't just about being mindful in some vague, trendy way. It's about diving into the moment with intention, fully engaging with what's happening right now. It's savoring that coffee, not just drinking it while scrolling your phone. It's listening, really listening when someone's talking, catching the emotion behind their words. It's almost feeling the breeze on your skin during a walk instead of mentally checking off your grocery list. Seneca, another Stoic thinker, nailed it when he said, "The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately." That is not a call to be reckless. It is a reminder that the present is your only guarantee. The future might bring joy or challenges, but you can't live it yet. The past might hold lessons or regrets, but you can't change it. The now? That's where you have power, where you can choose how to act, how to feel, how to be. This practice takes effort, especially in a world that's always pulling your attention elsewhere. Notifications pinging, worries piling up, memories tugging at you. But it's worth it. I heard about a parent who started applying this Stoic principle during time with their kids. They'd always been distracted, half present thinking about work emails while playing at the park. But they made a choice to focus fully on those moments, watching their child smile as they swung higher, feeling the joy in their laughter. Those small, intentional shifts made their time together deeper, more meaningful. It wasn't about ignoring their responsibilities. It was about choosing to be fully there for what mattered most in that moment. Over time, they noticed they felt less stressed, more connected, like they were truly living instead of just getting through the day. Start small with this. Pick one moment today to really lean into. Maybe it's your morning coffee. Notice the warmth, the taste, the way it wakes you up. Maybe it's a conversation. Put your phone down and listen with your whole self. Or maybe it's a quiet walk, where you let yourself feel the ground beneath your feet, the air on your face. It's not about blocking out the past or future entirely. It's about not letting them steal the richness of now. I heard about someone who started doing this during their commute. Instead of stressing about the day ahead, they'd focus on the music playing, the rhythm of their breath, the world passing by. Those moments became a kind of reset, a way to ground themselves before the chaos of the day. Slowly, they felt less overwhelmed, more in control. Seneca's words, "Live immediately," are a call to action. The present is fleeting, like sand slipping through your fingers. Don't let it pass unnoticed. Dive into it with purpose. Savor the small things, a kind word, a warm meal, a fleeting smile. Let each experience anchor you. What's one moment you can fully embrace today? Maybe it's as simple as pausing to breathe deeply or noticing the way light filters through your window. That's the Stoic way to live in the now, not just existing but truly thriving in the moment you're given. It's where your power lies, and it's waiting for you to claim it. Find your tribe. Imagine a lone hiker climbing a steep cliff, their breath heavy, hands gripping the rock, each step a solitary battle against the incline. The view at the top might be breathtaking, sweeping vistas, a sky that feels endless. But the journey up? Lonely, quiet, and tough. Now picture that same climb with a group of friends, their voices echoing with encouragement, hands reaching out to steady one another. Suddenly, the ascent isn't just easier, it's richer, more meaningful, filled with shared purpose. That's the 7th Stoic lesson. Build or join a community that supports your growth. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher emperor, captured this beautifully when he said, "Mankind are made for each other. Either teach them better or bear with them." We're not meant to climb life's cliffs alone. We're stronger, wiser, and more resilient together. A community isn't just a group of people thrown together by chance. It is a network woven with shared values, a space where you inspire and are inspired. It is where you find people who see your hunger for growth and match it with their own. I heard about someone who joined a local book club, and their story really stuck with me. At first, they were hesitant, standing at the edge of the group, thinking, "I'm not sure I fit in here." They worried their ideas wouldn't land, that they'd feel out of place among strangers. But then they took a leap, started sharing their thoughts on the stories, debating characters and themes. Something clicked. They found people who pushed them to think deeper, to question their assumptions, to see the world through new lenses. It wasn't just about the books. It was about connection, about lifting each other up. That book club became a haven where they could grow, not just as a reader but as a person, surrounded by others who shared their curiosity and drive. This Stoic principle isn't just about finding support. It's about giving it too. A true community is a two-way street, a cycle of teaching, learning, and motivating one another. Think of it like a campfire. Everyone brings a spark, and together, you create a blaze that warms and lights the way. I heard about a group of coworkers who started a small study group to prepare for a tough certification exam. At first, it was just about passing the test, but it became so much more. They shared notes, quizzed each other, and celebrated every small win. When someone struggled, the group rallied, offering encouragement and tips. Each person's effort strengthened the whole, and they all passed, not just because they studied, but because they leaned on each other. That is the power of community. It amplifies your growth while letting you contribute to someone else. As Seneca, another Stoic great, said, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." It's not just about surrounding yourself with cheerleaders. It's about finding people who challenge you, who push you to be better, and who grow alongside you. Building or joining a community doesn't mean you need a big, formal group. It can be as simple as an online forum where you swap ideas, a workout buddy who keeps you accountable, or a friend you call to talk through life's big questions. The key is finding people who share your hunger for growth, who align with your values. I heard about someone who felt stuck in their career, like they were climbing that cliff alone. They joined an online community of professionals in their field, hesitant at first to post or engage. But when they started sharing their challenges and asking questions, they found mentors, peers, and ideas that sparked new possibilities. That community didn't just offer advice. It gave them a sense of belonging, a reminder that they weren't alone in their struggles. Over time, they didn't just grow professionally. They became someone who offered insights to others, paying it forward. This takes effort, no question. Joining a community can feel daunting, especially if you're shy or unsure where you fit. And building one? That's a whole other climb. Finding people, creating space for connection, keeping it alive. But start small. Maybe it's signing up for a local class, joining a discussion group, or even starting a group chat with friends who share your goals. The Stoic wisdom here is that we're made for each other. Our growth is intertwined. When you surround yourself with people who challenge and uplift you, you're not just climbing your own cliff. You're helping others reach the top too. What's one community you could join or build to support your journey? Maybe it's a book club, a volunteer group, or a few friends who want to grow together. Take that first step. Reach out, connect, share. That's the Stoic way to build a life that's not just stronger but richer, because you're not climbing alone. Take the 2-week challenge. Well, friend, we've covered some serious ground together, haven't we? 7 Stoic principles, each one like a tool in your mental toolbox, ready to help you navigate life with clarity, strength, and purpose. We've talked about letting go of other people's opinions so you can hear your own voice loud and clear. We've explored how to turn hardships into stepping stones, building resilience that shines through life's toughest moments. We've dug into mastering your perception, choosing a lens that empowers you instead of dragging you down. We've learned to flow with life's changes like a river moving gracefully around obstacles. We've built discipline, that steady backbone that keeps you on track even when distractions tempt you. We've embraced the present moment, finding power in the now. And we've seen the magic of finding your tribe, those people who lift you up and grow alongside you. Each principle is a piece of the puzzle, a way to craft a mind you're proud of, one that's steady, focused, and ready for whatever life throws your way. Now, here's where the real adventure begins. This isn't just about watching a video or nodding along to some cool ideas. It's about taking action, about making these principles part of your life. So I've got a challenge for you, and I'm excited to see what you do with it. Pick one of these Stoic principles, whichever one speaks to you most. Maybe it's embracing the present moment, savoring the little details of your day like the warmth of your coffee or the sound of a friend's laugh. Or maybe it's practicing self-discipline, saying no to that extra hour of scrolling to focus on a goal that lights you up. It could be letting go of others' opinions, tuning out the noise to follow your own path, or joining a community that pushes you to grow. Whatever resonates, commit to living it fully for 2 weeks. Not half-heartedly. Really lean into it. Try it in the small moments, the tough ones, the everyday grind. Then come back and share what changed. Did you feel stronger, clearer, more grounded? Maybe you noticed a shift in how you handle stress or how you see yourself. Drop a comment below or shoot me an email. My contact's in the description. I'm genuinely curious to hear your story because this challenge isn't just about ideas, it's about transformation. Let's talk about why this matters. Life can feel like a whirlwind sometimes. Work, relationships, endless to-do lists, and those unexpected curveballs that knock you off balance. It's easy to get caught up, to feel like you're just reacting to everything around you. But these Stoic principles? They're like a compass guiding you back to what you can control. Your mind, your choices, your growth. I heard about someone who took this challenge and picked the principle of living in the present. They were always stressed, their mind jumping between past mistakes and future worries. For 2 weeks, they focused on anchoring themselves in the moment, really listening during conversations, noticing the taste of their meals, feeling the ground under their feet on a walk. At first, it felt strange, like they were forcing it. But by the end of those 2 weeks, they felt lighter, more connected, like they'd rediscovered a part of life they'd been missing. That is what this challenge can do. It is a chance to test these ideas and see how they reshape your world. This isn't about perfection. You don't need to master all 7 principles at once or overhaul your life overnight. It's about taking one step, one principle, and giving it a real shot. Maybe you will stumble. Maybe you will forget to practice some days or find it hard to shift your perspective. That's okay. Stoicism is about progress, not flawlessness. Each time you try, you're building a stronger mind, one that's more resilient, more focused, more yours. I heard about someone who chose to work on discipline, setting a goal to write every day. Some days they only managed a sentence or 2, but they kept at it. By the end of 2 weeks, they had a habit forming and a stack of pages they were proud of. It wasn't about being perfect. It was about showing up. So, what's it going to be? Which principle are you going to pick? Maybe you're drawn to flowing with life's changes, accepting the twists and turns with grace. Or maybe you want to find your tribe, connecting with people who inspire you to be better. Whatever you choose, make it yours for these 2 weeks. And if this journey we've been on together resonated with you, give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know you're in this with me. Haven't subscribed yet? Join our community, hit that notification bell, and let's keep exploring these ideas together. Thanks for sticking with me till the end. You were already showing the kind of commitment that builds a mind to be proud of. Now go out there and start mastering your mind, one Stoic step at a time. I can't wait to hear what you discover.